I'm extremely excited about the opportunity to play indoor soccer.
One-touch shot and goal!
That was arena soccer perfection.
With an absolute golazo! Goal! As good a goal as you can see.
Welcome everybody, you're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky joined by a special guest today in place of Stephen Caldwell, who's off calling Canadian soccer. Today we've got Canadian soccer legend Bobby Rushi right next to me to set up what should be a tremendous game here, Bob, between the MetroStars and East Division rival, the Harrisburg Heat.
It should be, and Ricky Titus has got this team hopefully on a different level with regards to speed, technique, and rhythm, and I hope that they start this game the way they did against Baltimore.
Well, it certainly was a fantastic start, wasn't it? Up 3-0 in the first quarter. I don't think anyone could have imagined a start that good, even with getting a bounce from getting a new coach, as teams typically will have, but it was a fantastic start, wasn't it?
Well, it was, and you're right. Usually when you do get a new coach, everybody's out to impress. There were a few new players in the roster, and I think that Ricky Titus is looking for the same type of effort.
Well, we'll see what the MetroStars can produce today. We're going to throw down to the field and first off listen to the national anthems.
Fans, please welcome to the field, singing the Canadian national anthem, Katarina Vesna.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
You are watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bob Arushi today as we've got an Eastern Division matchup between the MetroStars and the Harrisburg Heat. And Bob, the Heat, a squad that Mississauga has had success against thus far this season, taking 2 out of 3 encounters up to this point.
Well, I mean, if you look at the standings, it's a team that Mississauga definitely aspires to beat. There are only 3 games in the win column ahead of them. And it really doesn't matter, though, because once the whistle blows, doesn't matter what team you're playing against. In order for you to dictate play, you have to do the things that put the other team at a disadvantage and makes it awkward for them to do the things they want to do. So no matter who you're playing against, strategically, Mississauga has to be on top of their game.
And this is a Harrisburg squad that's actually been on a hot streak since they came here to the Paramount Fine Food Center last against Mississauga. The last time they faced off was on the 24th of February, Mississauga won in dramatic fashion by a 6-5 count. Since then, Harrisburg has reeled off 3 of 4 victories, including one against the MetroStars the following week, but also a victory over League Power Milwaukee, who they downed 6-5 on the 23rd of February, which is a huge bounce back game for them, taking on a powerful club like the Wave. So this is a squad Mississauga very much has to watch. They know the damage they can do.
Well, I mean, the results speak for themselves. To beat an excellent team like Milwaukee in the way they did is augurs well for them here against Mississauga. So even more reason for Mississauga to be on top of their game.
Well, Mississauga, as we talked off the top of the broadcast, coming off, they came up short in the win column against Baltimore last weekend, but really one of their best performances thus far, Bob, against the Baltimore Blast, the 3-time reigning MASL champions. A great performance. They just couldn't hold it in the end in the fourth quarter. But up until that point, especially the first quarter, as you and I were discussing before the game, you were loving what you were seeing from this squad.
Well, of course. I mean, they were sharp, they were quick, they were determined, their shifts were short, and they looked like a team that was confident, and they got rewarded for it. As the game progressed, Baltimore, being the cagey outfit that they are, slowly got back into the match, and Mississauga gave them reasons to believe. And then I don't know if it's a fitness situation, but they seem to be a little bit lackadaisical at the end of the third quarter, and then also at the end of the game. And they couldn't hold it, as you said.
Well, the starters for the Harrisburg Heat today: Matt Perella getting the start between the posts, Danny DePrima in the midfield, Ricardo Carvalho, Dominic Francis, Dylan Hundeltz, and Nelson Santana. For the MetroStars, Josh Paredes, Marco Rodriguez, Damian Graham, Mo Babuli, Darren Chambers, and between the posts, goalkeeper Adrian Becic, as we get the game underway. Live from the Paramount Fine Food Center in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada, Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bob Arushi as we kick off the MetroStars against the Harrisburg Heat. Adrian Becic in goal to Paredes on the wing. Paredes across the field to Marco Rodriguez. Rodriguez marked by Ricardo Carvalho, back to Becic again. Mo Babuli, so instrumental in that great win against Harrisburg a couple of weeks ago, where he literally put the team on his shoulders and carried them to victory against the Heat. Damian Graham off the glass. Good idea, but just a bit too hard for Chambers. Babuli for Rodriguez. Marco, marked by Carvalho, a little give and go there with Darren Chambers. Marco losing the ball this time. Harrisburg turns it upfield, now playing it back and setting it up. And Bob, you watched that game against Harrisburg a couple of weeks ago. They managed to hold on in the end. What a fantastic comeback, and Mo Babuli was instrumental, wasn't he, in that contest?
Well, I mean, Mo is a very technical player and confident, when he gets a chance in an open space, here's a good chance here.
Oh, Sean Brown, and that was a hard collision with Perella. And let's see what the ramifications are from that.
Well, Chambers was given a through ball and thought he could get there. He was a little late, but he rolled up in a ball as he jumped against the Harrisburg goalkeeper, and unfortunately the goalie got the worst of it, and he's really hurting. Perella
I'm not sure if we can get another look at it. Why taking it back a little bit further, but Sean Brown, he is not a dirty player, but that's certainly a play where, well, you got to be a little bit more careful than that. He just charged in, and that was Dion Phaneuf of the LA Kings would certainly have loved that body check. It was a full-on open ice check there to lay out the keeper, and Perella is down, and he is not getting up right now.
I just think that when the Mississauga forward realized he couldn't get there, and he knew that there was a collision coming, he just basically braced for it and stepped up a little bit and hit Perella square against the top of the chest, and I'm sure he's winded, the goalkeeper.
Well, we can see William Bonahaney, the backup keeper, 0-0 for the Harrisburg Heat, warming up there at midfield as Perella is being tended to on the pitch. And yeah, like I said, Sean Brown, I've watched Sean Brown play for years. He is not a dirty player, but that's certainly a case where he should have been a touch more aware and held up a little bit, because that was a full steam collision with Perella, who's laid out, being tended to on the field right now by the trainer, as we've played only a minute 24 of the opening quarter, 0-0 between the Mississauga MetroStars and the Harrisburg Heat.
In the first minute and a half, Alex, you can see already that Mississauga has some speed up front to burn, and it's caused problems for Harrisburg, staying with players like Brown and previous to him, Damian Graham and Darren Chambers. They're very effective, and I think this is something that everybody should be watching over the course of the game.
Well, you watched the last game against Baltimore, and we talked about it, a little bit about the quick start and everything like that, but what did you maybe see from the MetroStars in that game, if anything, that you hadn't seen before, Bob, maybe some improvements that they'd made?
Well, I thought they were a little bit more diligent with regards to the space, especially defensively, covering space and blocking those corridors towards goal that in the past they were burnt on. And I thought they were a lot more cognizant of those dangerous areas, especially defensively. And unfortunately, over the course of the game, those corridors seemed to open up for Baltimore, and I think that's where they were exploited.
Well, as we take a moment here while Perella is down on the field, it's a good time to mention a big signing in the MASL, and that is the Tacoma Stars have announced the signing of Washington native and former Seattle Sounders FC player in the MASL, Lamar Neagle, to a contract, and great stuff. Neagle, of course, began his MLS career in 2009, and he is I'm checking for exactly where he is overall, but I believe he's the 4th all-time scorer for the Seattle Sounders. So just a tremendous pickup by the Tacoma Stars going forward as they continue to battle it out west there. Perella looks like he's starting to move, and he turns over at the very least here as he's being tended to.
He's been there a long time now.
Yeah,
I mean,
you never like to see this.
If it's just being winded, it's one thing, but the way he was accosted, it could even be a rib that may have cracked or a hairline fracture. You never know. But for him he's finally getting up now, and
it looks like Bonahaney will definitely take his spot, at least for the time being, as they figure out how severe it is. Bonahaney anyway is on the field as Perella begins to gingerly make his way off to the bench.
Oh, they've given the Mississauga player a penalty on that.
Yeah, Sean Brown got a blue card for that, it looks like. So it'll be a 2-minute power play for the Harrisburg Heat as we quickly take a look here, and they are pretty lethal on the power play, clicking at 48% right now.
Wow.
Our Harrisburg, which is extremely efficient. So Mississauga is going to have to be very careful in terms of penalty kill for the MetroStars. They're at 39%. So the next 2 minutes are going to be white knuckle time for the MetroStars as they try to kill this off against a potent Harrisburg Heat power play. As mentioned, we've only played a minute 24 here in the opening quarter of play. If you're just joining us now, a big collision between Mississauga's Sean Brown and goalkeeper Matt Perella of the Harrisburg Heat led to Perella being replaced in goal by William Bonahaney, who we saw last time in goal here when the MetroStars faced off against Harrisburg. And Sean Brown, 2 minutes in the sin bin he will get for the collision, as Harrisburg has the man advantage and will try to make something of that.
Well, right there you saw the Mississauga team now on a penalty kill, trying to shut off those corridors that I mentioned before. and not allow players to get into the slot like was just shown there.
Well, 2 shots, both went wide of the net.
Yeah.
Francis, Mobabuli tries to intercept, can't quite get there. Francis should get it back here. He does, along the right side. Being watched closely. Francis, for a 3rd time, gets it back. Into the corner, he plays it. Alberto Harris comes out to watch his man. Francis gets it back, though. Back to the center, inside, shot on goal. Oh, off the goal post. That was Carvalho turning and burning it off the post.
That was very dangerous, and that's what I was talking about. You want to deny that pass to the slot area because that's the perfect area for a goal.
And that was Tavoy Morgan getting his head on it there. Tavoy Morgan, the super rookie for the Harrisburg Heat, as I like to refer to him, and why not? He's the 2nd leading scorer, shot just wide of the net for the Harrisburg Heat this year. 14 goals, 6 assists, good for 20 points. 2nd overall in scoring, not bad at all for a first-year player on this team. 39 seconds remaining in the power play for the Harrisburg Heat. Still scoreless here from the Paramount Fine Food Center. Shot on goal. Bacic got
very good save by
off
Besic.
the knee there, looked like, and rebounded right out of play. Not out of danger yet, the MetroStars. Villela off to the wing. Villela getting it back. Plays it back again. That's Santana back for Villela. Santana wearing the captain's armband, looks up at the clock to see how much time they got left in the power play. That's 15 seconds. Francis in the corner, still watched by Alberto Harris. And they have almost killed off this power play. 5 seconds left. It would be a big kill for the MetroStars if they can do it. Shot, deflects, in.
Oh, Alex, I wish you hadn't have said anything.
Stephen and I have had a running joke all year
goodness.
that every time I say that, it seems to bite them in the rear end.
Wow.
And it does once again. They were that close.
And I was just about to say how wonderful the penalty killing unit had been in 2 seconds before the end of it. The ball was struck once again at the top of the key here.
Here it comes in.
And
I think I'm not sure if it took
I don't know if he was.
I
think Besic just didn't get a good handle on it, and it went in off his. It looked like it went off the palm of his hand. So
yeah, I wasn't sure at first if it had taken the deflection off one of the Mississauga defenders, but from that angle, it looked like it just went straight in. And the end result is a power play goal, right as the penalty was expiring for the Harrisburg Heat. They lead 1-0. As we've played 3 minutes, 45 seconds of the opening quarter here. 1-0 Heat over the MetroStars at the Paramount Fine Food Center here in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. So another unfortunate start for the MetroStars, the complete opposite of what happened against Baltimore last Sunday when they took a 3-0 lead over the Blast. Shot on goal, Bacic does well to get down that time. This is Josh Paredes. Paredes looking upfield. Shaq Agard.
See, this is an area that I've always felt that the Mississauga needs to improve in, breaking out of their own end and looking for the right outlet pass.
Shot on goal by Darren Chambers into the hands of Donahaney. But what you didn't like previously, it's been, about a month since we've had you up here, but one of the things you didn't like was that they consistently played that long ball into the glass off the corner, which worked over the first 2-3 games, but you thought teams got wise to that pretty quickly, didn't they?
Well, they do, and then there's a high percentage that you're not going to get at the end of those passes into the corner, that they're going to be lost, and then distributing that ball is normally the goalkeeper, Alex, and you really don't want your goalkeeper making that type of a pass, in my opinion. But
so rather than the punt and pray, you'd rather see the slow build from the back.
Well, I'd like
to
see the small build, maybe get a little bit more support in coming up instead of isolating defenders as we see now.
And everyone was turning away from
option.
him. So Graham was coming towards him and then turned away again. Yeah, you're right. So Bacic will set things up. And Bacic, we've noticed over the last game, was coming out quite a bit more than he did in the previous games under this new coaching regime anyway. Coming up close to midfield there.
Mississauga has to set up so that their quick players go one-on-one on their defenders. And that, however they choose to isolate those players, I think that has to be a game plan.
Here's Santana. Santana booting it up into the corner. That's from midfield. Here's Tavoy Morgan. Tavoy Morgan marked closely by Sean Brown. Out of the box now, of course. Santana. Shot off the glass. That was by design, and great stop by Bacic.
What a reflex save that was from Besic.
Francis was right on the doorstep, and it looked like he was going to punch that home, but Becic gets a paw on it. Great stop. Francis again now out front. Here's Raheem Rose, who had a great first game for the MetroStars.
Wow.
Just boots it upfield, though.
Well, he gave that away. And,
yeah, gave it right away there.
You got to be able to hold that ball. You got to be able to understand where your passing options are, and out of desperation to knock it up doesn't help your team one bit.
Well, in the first game against Baltimore, as Becic handles that, he looked like a seasoned veteran out there. He made some tremendous plays, scored a great goal, given away by Mo Babuli. Geez, the MetroStars, this has been, up to this point, we played almost 7 minutes. This has been one of the worst 7-minute stretches I've seen them open a game with this season up to this point, Bob. Giving the ball away, they look completely lifeless out there up to this point.
Well, it's a long game, and they've just got to forget the goal that's gone by them in the fashion that it did. They've just got to play their game. They've got to believe in their strengths, and they've got to go to that game plan that I'm sure Rick Titus had got everybody to buy into. So they cannot lose shape and they cannot lose heart. That's for sure. It's too early in this game.
Well, Ricky Titus and John Williams, the new coaching staff, won't like what they've seen so far. But again, it's only 1-0. Lots of time, and MetroStars could easily make up a 1-goal deficit, obviously. They've scored goals in bunches this season. Last time they played the Harrisburg Heat, down 4-1 in the second half. Mo Babuli spurring on the comeback. Mississauga scored 5 straight goals to take a 6-4 lead and hold on for a 6-5 victory. And again, in the first half, in that game, they didn't look overly inspiring either. So nothing to get too concerned about, but they don't want to lapse too far here in the first quarter and give up another one here as Becic corrals now. Waits for the change to happen, finds Alberto Harris. Harris back for Becic. Over to David Velostegi, inserted back into the MetroStars lineup 2 games ago now when they played Harrisburg on the road. Becic, well out of his net. Becic, long ball into the corner. That was a good idea that time, right to the waiting Matt Rios. Here's Rose, marked closely, and Rose does well to get it back for Matt Rios after losing it the first time.
Yeah, still a little disjointed, and when all else fails, is always that ball into the corner, which actually Mississauga executed pretty well. They had a good chance when the ball was knocked to the top of the box, but other than that, in my opinion, they need to be a little bit more flexible with regards to how they come up the field and not so predictable.
The shots right now 7-1 for Harrisburg. Of course, they did have a 2-minute power play, but Mississauga was a single shot on the net up to this point, as we've now played 9 minutes of the opening quarter of play. 1-0 for the Harrisburg Heat. Rose calling for it. Gets it back for Becic right away. Shaq Agard was cutting to the middle. Long ball played, though, as Becic didn't find him. And it's corralled once again by Harrisburg. It's far too easy right now for the Heat. And here they are charging up the pitch as it's Villela turning around. They will reset and take their time here. And it's Nelson Santana controlling, team captain. And third in scoring right now for the Harrisburg Heat with 7 goals and 8 assists, 15 points on the season. Veteran player Santana, excellent out there for the Heat. Mississauga finally steals. Aaron Chambers, marked one-on-one. Chambers down the wing, see if he uses that speed. He's ridden into the boards, and that will definitely be whistled down.
Yes. And there you go. Chambers' speed caused the foul and put him in a position to go one-on-one. I thought that his partner was a little bit too close to him and not giving him all the space that he would have required. But this is where I'd like to see Mississauga improve here in this distribution phase.
Well, you've seen the speed as Graham cuts to the middle, off to the side here. Paredes lays it back for Rodriguez. Rodriguez fakes out his man, shot right into the hands of Banahaney. But you've seen the speed that Darren Chambers brings. When he gets one-on-one or in the open field, he's just as fast with the ball as he is without, isn't he, Bob?
Oh, he is, and he's shown it. He scored some great goals and set up some great goals because of the speed that he has. But once again, you've got to put him in that position where he can use it and be effective with it.
Just over 4 minutes remaining now in the opening quarter of play. Harrisburg with a 1-0 lead over the MetroStars. Mississauga steals as Massimo Mirabelli Ball takes an awkward hop off the top of the boards and then ends up going out of play.
A little bit quicker in transition if they could. The ball was played, anticipated by the Mississauga defender, and when there was a chance to go forward quickly, and they chose to get the ball back and regroup.
They're taking a quick timeout, and so shall we. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
Fans, this past week it was announced Dwayne Rosario will be inducted into the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame. Dwayne started his pro career with the Toronto Lynx and later went on to play for the San Jose Earthquakes, Houston Dynamo, New York Red Bulls, DC United, and Toronto FC of the MLS. His resume includes 4 MLS Cup championships, and he won the 2011 MLS MVP award. Dwayne has also represented Canada with 81 caps and is the squad's all-time leading scorer with 22 goals. He currently serves as Toronto FC's community ambassador and is your Mississauga MetroStars co-captain. Fans, at this time, please help me congratulate the first ever soccer player to be inducted to the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, Dwayne Rosario. Dwayne will be inducted in a ceremony in Toronto on October 21st. Congratulations, Dwayne.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bobby Rushi. And Bob, great moment there where they just honored Dwayne Rosario, who himself was just honored by being inducted into the Ontario Sports Hall of Fame, the first, shockingly, I would say, almost the first Canadian soccer player. I would have thought you would have been there already,
wow.
actually. But
I don't know about that, but
great stuff for Dwayne, just a Canadian
yes.
soccer legend and just the ultimate professional gentleman and performer. Great stuff to see that, isn't it?
Oh, no doubt. Dwayne is so deserving of this award. A 4-time MLS Cup champion, unbelievable, and MLS MVP, and not to mention all the great moments for Canadian soccer as their star forward and always there on call for his country. Nothing but praise and honor for Dwayne. So congratulations, Dwayne.
Well, he's been on call for his country, and he was on call for the Mississauga MetroStars when they asked him to come out of retirement. Played for the MetroStars all season long in their inaugural season, and also for the Canadian National Arena team last season and 2 international friendlies. Oh boy, giveaway by the MetroStars. Becic well out of the net, and a blown opportunity there by Danny DePrima. Another shot off the glass.
Wow.
MetroStars once again, though, playing with fire and nearly getting burnt.
Well, this is again their insecurity in trying to move the ball forward, and the defender who got lost in his indecisions, and right there, Primo should be sat on the bench for the next 5 minutes after missing that empty goal. I can tell you.
Wide open cage to shoot for,
wow.
And he might have rushed it just a little bit and put it over top of the cage. But boy, oh boy, the MetroStars, that was just an awful giveaway. They've got to watch those. And I'm noticing one little thing here, Bob, that it wasn't happening for a while. The Mississauga MetroStars are starting to leave that crease open again. Becic over to the side. The pass across coming along. And once again, all you need to do is intercept, and it's into the wide open net. So that's something that we hadn't seen for a little while, and I think you know very well. And
yeah.
Stephen, I've mentioned it a few times, it's not a play that I personally like all that much because we've seen them get burnt on it. Another good chance out front. Shot wide of the goal. Harrisburg coming close once again.
MetroStars caught on a change here. They're
Viela.
caught on a change, and they don't have enough players back.
Boy, scrambling.
Wow.
Scrambling into the hands of Becic. All kinds of disasters happening right now for the MetroStars.
Wow.
And they need to get things under control quickly here because Harrisburg is coming close.
And they're matching up and allowing the goalkeeper to have the ball. And as we just saw with Becic throwing it aimlessly into the corner, they're back on the defense, Mississauga, because they're not able to maintain the ball and create situations that can take them to goal.
Well, they just don't seem mentally present right now, the Stars, unfortunately, and they're very fortunate on the plus side of things to only be down by 1 goal at the moment because it has been all Harrisburg. Here's a chance for Sean Brown. Fortunately, couldn't get a good foot on it. Shot well over top of the net though by Raheem Rose. And we're going to take a quick look here, and the shots now 8-2 for the Harrisburg Heat. Not surprising at all. We've got a minute 15 left in the opening quarter. 1-0 for Harrisburg, and as just mentioned, Mississauga fortunate to only be down by a single tally, as it has been all Heat in the early going of this contest. David Velastegi on the run now. David looking up for Sean Brown. Sean, bad first touch though.
Yeah, it was a great intention on behalf of the pass, and then Sean Brown took it one extra step and lost control of it, where he probably could have taken it first time and gone to goal.
Well, one of the few chances for the MetroStars in the opening quarter right there, and Brown's had a couple of them over the last 30 seconds or so. Both of them just could not quite get a good shot off though. As we see Santana barking out instructions, we've got less than a minute now, just about 30 seconds in the opening quarter. Bob's pointing out Escobar was wide open down the right-hand side for the Heat.
It looks like Mississauga is playing a zone, and in that zone there's a lot of space for Harrisburg to look for the ball into space, while when Mississauga has the ball, Harrisburg is man-on-man, pressure on each guy, and they're daring them to get the ball under pressure. And it's two different philosophies of defending. Right.
Pick one and stick with it.
Man-on-man is tougher because you're demanding more of your athlete. And in zone, you're always thinking that maybe the guy next to you will pick you up if you slack off, but not with man-on-man. You can't hide.
Well, here's Santana charging up the middle. That's not going to get enough time to get a shot off those. The buzzer goes. And that is it for the opening quarter of play, one that Mississauga will be happy to see come to a close. They're only down by a single goal, but being outshot 8-2 right now by the Harrisburg Heat. They need to wake up in the second quarter of play. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. We'll be right back.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bob Arushi. 1-0 for the Harrisburg Heat after 15 minutes of play, as we're about to head into the second quarter now. Shots after the first quarter, Harrisburg 8-3 in the positive over Mississauga. As we take a look at the opening goal of the game here for Harrisburg, the only goal of the contest thus far, straight in, wasn't it?
Well, it went straight off Bezic's palm, but and Bezic had a good look. I don't think he was screened. Let me see. It didn't look like he was screened. It went right at him.
It just skipped off the turf, yeah.
And I just think he didn't get his reflexes into gear quick enough, and the ball just went off his, as I said, looked like the palm of his hand into the back of the net.
Well, it took an odd little skip off the turf there, actually, is why I thought it was initially possibly deflected. It just looked like it took a weird little bounce, but yeah, Bezic unfortunately missed out on that one, so that's the only goal of the game so far, as it's 1-0 for Harrisburg. That's Ricardo Carvalho getting credit for that. And Carvalho, not surprising, the leading scorer for Harrisburg this season up to this point, the man from Salvador, Brazil. 17 goals, 15 assists, 32 points. 2015-16 MASL all-rookie team he was named to, and 34 points in 21 games last year, so he's going to be better than that pace this year. That's for certain, with several games remaining on the calendar still.
I've been recalling the first half, Alex, and I don't think that the MetroStars had any type of a shot on goal that was in any way described as dangerous. No. Yeah. So let's hope that they can get to the Harrisburg goalkeeper in a more comfortable fashion in the second half.
Well, the last time these teams played here at the Paramount Fine Food Center when Mississauga held on for the 6-5 victory, it was all Harrisburg in that first half. Mississauga looked disinterested, and that was the point at which Stephen Caldwell pointed out and said someone needs to take this game, take this MetroStars team, put them on his shoulders, and get them going here, because they were lifeless in that game and then really turned it on in the second half. So we're only one quarter in here. They're only down by a single goal. Lots of time to turn it around, but the mental mistakes were plaguing them in the opening quarter there, weren't they, Bob?
Yes, they were, I would say, and I just think that they're not connecting. They're not connecting, and they're a little bit. Look at here. Oh, my.
Blown chance out front.
Another incredible chance.
Yeah, right on the doorstep.
Yeah.
Bobabuli laying it off for Chambers with the
go.
speed down the wing. Shot on goal. Nice stop by William Bonahaney.
Boy, he is quick, Chambers.
Very, very quick man, and that was William Eske, the man who unfortunately right on the doorstep for Harrisburg. We've seen about 2 or 3 of them now. They should have put home.
They're easy. They're more difficult to miss. That's the type of chances that Mississauga has been able to overcome, because we're looking at least 400% goals from Harrisburg over the last 6 or 7 minutes of play that they should have scored on.
Could be 3 or 4-0 right now, no question about it for Harrisburg. Mississauga hanging on at the moment, down by a single tally. Rodriguez back for David Velostegi. Velostegi crosses over and play it back to Becic. Becic looking up pitch.
Yeah.
MetroStars need a bit more movement here.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Mabuli turning inside for Graham. Graham had it knocked away. Mirabelli back to Velostegi. Mississauga will start it all over again. Velostegi back for Becic. Adrian Becic off to the side. Velostegi.
Well,
nobody near him, but yeah.
I mean, when the player does show, you have to give him the ball. If somebody's going to come deep and show for the ball, he's got to receive it, because if he doesn't, then he won't make that run anymore. And he needs to be confident that he's going to get that ball when he's got the 2 steps ahead of his defender.
But thus far in the game, again, the complete opposite of what we saw against Baltimore, where there was tons of movement by the player. Shaq Agard back for Rose to Phillips, but there's a lot more standing around going on in this contest than there was last Sunday against the 3-time defending MASL champions. Phillips, man, has been reinserted back into the MetroStars lineup. Haven't seen him for a few weeks now. We'll see if he can once again solidify his role with the Mississauga MetroStars today. Mirabelli one-on-one being marked by his man. Agard back for Mirabelli. He'll play it all the way back for Becic once again.
Well, I mean, they're isolating people, but they can't go by their man. So they get back to square one and try again, and then when the one-on-one situation happens, they can't go by him.
Rodriguez off to the side, had Mirabelli just out of his reach, though.
Idea was very good.
Very good idea, correct, yeah. And it's going to be whistled down. It will be Harrisburg's ball, but good imagination there, Bud.
Well, Rodriguez had the right idea, and his teammate was open on the corner of the box. He just underhit it.
We've played 3.5 minutes of the second quarter of play here. Harrisburg continues to lead 1-0. Mississauga on the attack now, though. Marco Rodriguez had Mirabelli in the middle calling for you. Just a second too late, though. Mirabelli puts it right into the legs.
It's the transition. It's that moment in transition where you've got to go at the other team.
Right.
Because they're under pressure. They've lost the ball, and they don't feel like they're covered. And if you don't take advantage of their insecurity and uncomfort, then you've missed an opportunity, in my opinion.
Gunella over to the side. Santana back for Francis. Bonahaney coming out of his net to play it. Gives it a boot all the way up the field, looking for Tavoy Morgan. Becic as well, just to punch it away, though. This will come back into the corner. Rodriguez has got to get there quickly. He heads it back smartly to Becic. He tosses it up, looking for Damian Graham on the run. Graham, bit of space. That was closed up real quick, but he blasted it over top of the net there.
Good effort.
Excellent effort by the money man, Damian Graham.
Go.
Marco, bit of space. What's he going to do? Marco off to the wing. Babuli shuttle just wide of the post. Graham back for Rodriguez. Nothing doing, though. MetroStars can't hit the net. Both those shots wide of the post. Babuli will see if he can get something going here. Babuli shot on goal finally into the hands of Bonahany.
Well, then it's about execution, isn't it? Now we've created 2 great chances to score, and it's up to the player to execute.
Here's a chance into Bonahany. Good job. Timing that perfectly as he came out of his net to knock the ball away. Turning it up here is
Look out.
Eske on the trot. Eske shot. Nice save. Adrian Becic getting his foot on it to knock it out of bounds.
Excellent goalkeeping. Becic challenges the shooter and makes a great save with his feet. Look out.
Nice fake there by Patrick Thompson, but that was knocked away. Babuli in the corner. Back for Damian Graham. Long shift now by several MetroStars, though, as Sean Brown is down the right side. Sean Brown. Worked by Santana. 2 men on him now. No one there to help, though, whatsoever. Sean Brown against the world. Roy Morgan, Eske. Agard's on him. Santana. Back for Bonahany. Gives it a boot up the pitch. Nobody there just to relieve some pressure, and Harrisburg will make a change now. Sean Brown's got some room on the right side. Quickly closed up. Inside for Agard. Can he hit it? Nope. Ball took a hop off the turf. Just couldn't get his foot on it. Back for Josh Paredes. Lining it up. Shot into the stratosphere. Over top of the net.
Well, it was too bad for Agar, who was lost in his preparation. Unfortunately, couldn't get the ball down for his left foot, and by that time, the Harrison defense has reset, and you've lost the opportunity.
Encouraging stuff in the MetroStars, though, who are starting to get some chances now, though, and some sustained pressure, which they didn't have at all in the first quarter.
Much better in the second.
Much
quarter,
better thus far, yeah. Phillips off to the side. Damian Graham charging in. Off the glass out front. He was looking for Rose. Just out of his reach, though. Battle going on in the corner. That's Braum. Loses it. Velistegi kicks it back in. Rose in tight on Hundelt. Trying to get it out is Harrisburg. Not quite yet, though. Mississauga keeps it in, but into the hands of head coach Ricky Titus. And it will be Harrisburg ball. 8:28 remaining in the second quarter. This could be trouble. Looked like they caught Mississauga napping for a moment there. Harrisburg lining it up. Eske. It'll come all the way back here. DePrima off to the side here. Back for DePrima. He's got Thompson on the left side if he wants him. He'll play it to him. Thompson being watched by Rose. Thompson off to the side. Graham on his man. Once again, Thompson at midfield through the legs and for Braum. Braum inside. Good idea for the man who was charging. That was Francis he was looking for. Just took a hop out of his way, though. But we see good movement by Harrisburg there, though, as they caught Mississauga a little bit flat-footed. Velistegi back for Becic.
Good move.
Velistegi once again. Francis on him. See what he does with it. Mississauga making a change. On hops Babuli. Babuli looking for Mirabelli momentarily, but couldn't quite get it to him. Velistegi. Cutting to the middle. David Velistegi. Off to the side. That's Chambers. Marco Rodriguez waiting for Josh Paredes to hop on. Here comes Josh. Not much doing for the MetroStars on this sequence as they're mostly being held to the outside here. Marco Rodriguez, Mo with the footwork. Mo cutting inside. Great job by Harrisburg to close up that lane really quickly. Here's Chambers now. Chambers gets dropped, and that will be possibly a blue card. Let's see.
No.
They whistle it down. Either way, it's going to be MetroStars ball. No card on the play. Chambers was chopped down, though.
I think that was a worse foul than the one that knocked the goalie down, in my opinion.
But it will be a free kick here for the MetroStars with 6:50 remaining in the second quarter of play. Mississauga needs a goal to tie things up against the Harrisburg Heat, who pretty much dominated that first quarter, but Mississauga's looked much better thus far in the second. Here's Mo. Fakes it. Side. Marco. Off the glass, right into the hands of Bonahany, and your reaction says everything.
Sorry, Marco's got to do better than that. That was real feeble.
And you hear the Bronx cheer now for Bonahany, who had the slightest bit of contact. I'm not sure if we can see that again to our production crew, but it was a slight little touch, and he went down like a sack of bricks, and he's hearing it from the fans here. Here's a look. See what happened here as it comes off, and
Oh,
Nothing.
Oh, that's
Absolutely
nothing.
nothing.
Awful. He should be carded for that. That's ridiculous.
Let's see what the Russian judge gives him on that dive.
That's, oh my goodness.
Not very good though. Bonahaney, I love you as a player, but that was not so hot. He's up and he's wincing right now, but I don't think there was much to that. So it's going to be Harrisburg ball with 6:35 remaining in the second quarter of play.
I think he's hurt because he's heavy. I'm not sure he's hurt because he got bumped.
I wouldn't even call that a bump, actually. It was a light touch on the wrist, perhaps. But anyway, we've seen it from both sides, though, so we're not going to be unkind here. Bonahaney's actually done a great job coming in for Perella in this game up to this point. Very comfortable with his feet, too, isn't he, Bonahaney, in between the posts there when he gets the ball. He hasn't looked flustered at all when he's had to play it with his feet.
No, and in all fairness, he hasn't really received a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that's something that Mississauga may want to do is force him to get the ball.
So we're saying, yeah, actually it might be not necessarily the alleged foul. We're saying he may have twisted his ankle, and that's exactly
there it is. It's the right ankle that goes. Yeah. Well,
so apologies to William.
Sorry
for a little bit of teasing there that we may have been doing. A legit reason for going down is he slightly tweaked his ankle. As we see the team taking a timeout, so we'll take a quick one as well. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bob Yarushi, as we were just giving our apologies to goalkeeper William Bonahaney, who we thought might have taken a dive before on really no contact with the Mississauga player. Turns out he slightly tweaked his ankle there. That's the reason he went down, and that would have been bad news, actually. On the break here, Mirabelli, I'll finish that thought in a moment, immediately covered by two Harrisburg players. See if he can sneak out of it as we see Santana get dropped on the board. Still no whistle, though, and then he gives a little bit of a forearm shiver to Mirabelli, and that's a blue card for Santana. He didn't like the initial contact, though, did he?
He didn't. I wouldn't have liked it either, actually. You know, there looks like there's a lot of trash talking there. Mirabelli's about to go down again for the count.
I think that he's saying that Santana might have touched him in a spot that no man likes to be touched.
You could determine all that from up here.
In a way that no man likes to be touched. Let's put it that way. It looked like after the whistle, Santana might have gone below the belt. I think that's what he's complaining about. But regardless, Santana's getting 2 minutes in the sin bin, and Mississauga will have a free kick on top of it. There was a lot going on in that sequence, though, there.
It does, and usually when you retaliate, you're the culprit, no matter what happened in those 5 or 10 seconds before.
But first there was contact on Santana. There's no question about it. Bit of a forearm in retaliation. That was what the penalty was. And then Mirabelli got into his face afterwards, having a discussion, and that's when Mirabelli reacted in a way that looked like something that had happened that caused him a slight bit of pain south of the equator. Let's leave it that way. So regardless, the end result is 2-minute infraction to Harrisburg. Santana, the leading scorer for the Harrisburg Heat, third leading scorer, but team captain, sitting in the box now for the Heat. Golden opportunity for the MetroStars to even things up here with the man advantage, but that's taken away from Chambers and quickly clear down the field by Harrisburg. So we've got 5 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the second quarter of play here.
Well, these are moments that you've got to take advantage of. You're down 1-0. You're at home. You've been given an opportunity on the power play. You've got to try and create these opportunities that put your opponent at ill at ease.
And right now it's Harrisburg on the attack, and boy, Bacic really taking a big risk there. He got all ball, but that could have turned out very badly for the MetroStars. Here's Paredes in close. Paredes shot over top of the net, though.
He never lifted his head. He had, I think that's Chambers on the other side, wide open.
Boy, oh boy, Josh Paredes with an excellent chance for the MetroStars, and just absolutely tattooed that shot. Unfortunately, it was about 5 feet over top of the bar, though. And the whistle goes, and I believe it's going to be a timeout here.
I think this is a good moment for a timeout. Yeah. 55 seconds left in the penalty. I think Ricky Titus can get his guys focused on creating an opportunity similar to the one Paredes just had. It can be done, but you've got to move quickly and you've got to move decisively.
Well, good timeout, as you mentioned, with 55 seconds remaining. With the man advantage for the MetroStars, a golden opportunity to even this game up against the Harrisburg Heat. Shots at this moment, 10-6 for the Heat, so Mississauga has narrowed the gap considerably in that regard. The sole goal of the game up to this point, first quarter at the 3:24 mark, to Ricardo Carvalho, assisted by Daniel Villela. Aside from that, no scoring. It's the odd, low-scoring defensive. Well, actually, I wouldn't call this a defensive gem regardless, but a defensive-minded arena soccer game. Normally, it's quite a bit of goals scored, but today, a single marker so far, and that's it.
Well, a lot of chances missed, too, Alex. I mean, it's not as if the occasions haven't presented itself for both teams, and especially for Harrisburg.
Well, Harrisburg in the first quarter alone, we figured could have been 3 or 4-0 with the amount of chances they blew right in front of the net that they should have put away. But luckily for the MetroStars, only one of them actually ended up crossing the line, hence the 1-0 score here, as we are live from the Paramount Fine Food Center in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Welcome everybody for joining us now. We are in the Great White North. MetroStars against the Harrisburg Heat, and Mississauga will have 55 seconds remaining.
I've never known Harrisburg to be a place that's hot, so I don't know where they came up with their with their logo name, Harrisburg Heat.
We'll have to do some research on that.
They're in the middle of northern Pennsylvania, southern Pennsylvania, I should say.
It's got an H, so I guess it rolls off the tongue, perhaps.
Maybe it's an association with steel. That's good. That would be it.
Well, the Stars want to turn up the heat now on Harrisburg, and here's Chambers. Oh boy, trying to do it all himself, but he didn't have much help there either. Marco Rodriguez, 33 seconds left in the MetroStars power play here. Really would love to get one, as we've also got 4:30 remaining in the second quarter of play. Babuli off to the side, Josh Paredes. Back for Mo. Mo waiting, goes to his left, back for Josh Paredes. Has he tried the one-timer? No. Off to Marco instead on the right side. Cross field for Mo Babuli. Mo's got Josh. What does he do? Left footer. Oh, Bonaheny getting down and making the nice stop.
Excellent save on behalf of the Harrisburg goalkeeper who parried a really tough and hot shot by Babuli.
Well, here's Paredes again fighting off his man. The penalty has expired now, and it's back to 6-on-6 arena soccer here. So great chance for the MetroStars down the drain, as they cannot convert against Harrisburg. Some good chances on that power play, but nothing that they were able to get across that line to tie things up. Velistegi. Here's Lopez. Sebastian Lopez has been reinserted back into the lineup for this contest. Off to the side here. Shot on goal, and it's in! Jared Phillips, another man being reintroduced into the MetroStars lineup for this game, and he pays off as he evens it up 1-1.
And I don't know if you noticed, Alex, but Harrisburg, we're playing only with four guys, and the last player came on just as that pass was made to the left side, and Phillips was able to walk in alone.
So a bad change, and they got caught on it? Is that what you're thinking
there?
Yeah,
well, I'm almost sure of it.
Has to be. Well, it is Mississauga. We'll thank their lucky stars for that bad change then by Harrisburg, as they put it home, and they even it up. 1-1 between Mississauga and Harrisburg, and the Stars needed that as we wind down the last 3 minutes, roughly 22 seconds of the second quarter of play. Mississauga even Steven with Harrisburg. Oh, stolen. Oh boy, given away, shot on goal, and it's in, just like that.
Unbelievable giveaway. This is
highs to lows for Mississauga.
This is a typical Mississauga moment after you've worked hard to tie the game, and then in like 10 seconds later, you've given a gift to the opposition, and it's almost like you've been working all that time for nothing.
Looks like Dominic Francis getting it, and that is unfortunately a trait the MetroStars have exhibited, where they'll score a goal and it's almost like they're maybe not quite there mentally afterwards. And I mean, it's another giveaway right to Francis, and then deposited into the back of the net. And also another trend, unfortunately, Bob, is giving up that late goal in the first half.
Well, of course.
Seems to haunt them. Mobabuli now, trying to see if he can even it up once again, and he's taken down pretty hard there by Vilela. No call, though. Dwayne Morgan alongside. The boards marked by Graham. Babuli comes to cut it off as well. Mobabuli ends up with it. He'll get it to Chambers. Back heel to Mo.
Good move.
Mo on the right side. Mo, nice block there by William Eskay. And that ended up being a dangerous play.
Well, that was a one-man show from Babuli, and he's paying for it physically, because he's got to suck it all in again and get his breath back.
Well, Mississauga is injury prone right now. Several regulars out of the lineup from this team, including one of their best D-men, and Joseph Karen. Adrian Can has been out, for I would say at least a month and a half now, missing games. Jesse Assing out of the lineup. He made a great debut for them a couple weeks ago. Luis Rocha suffered a ankle sprain.
Osorio's not in the lineup either.
Osorio's not in the lineup, no. But Rocha, a couple weeks ago against Harrisburg, suffered an ankle sprain, and he was out for the first part of the season with a leg injury already. He had just gotten inserted back into the lineup, so it's unfortunate. Quite a few Mississauga players out, and of course Dero also sitting today as well. So it's quite a few new players being inserted into the lineup, and boy, against Baltimore, most of them acquitted themselves excellently. But mental mistakes continuing to haunt the MetroStars, has happened on the second goal there that made it 2-1 for the Harrisburg Heat. If we can just get the waiting for the updated statistics on that. Yeah, Phillips got it for the MetroStars by Lopez, and it was Francis who got it. And Vilela gets his second point of the game with an assist there. In close again, wide open net to shoot for. Oh boy! Bencic, 2 saves, in it goes. Tavoy Morgan, number 10, the super rookie for the Harrisburg Heat, making it 3-1. MetroStars scrambling in their own end once again, and Harrisburg burns them.
Well, they're at 6s and 7s at the back. They're not organized. Nobody's talking. Heads are down. And, it just feels like the confidence level is not there. I mean, and they got 2 chances to get this back, and they still weren't able to clear. And Harrisburg got the second chance here. And now an open goal with a great save by Bezic, and then the rebound, he makes no mistake. Wide open net.
Yeah, the first one missed. The second one was a stop, and then finally Tavoy Morgan puts it home. So it's 3-1 MetroStars. 2 goals within a very short time frame there. And I hate to say it because it's like a broken record, but this has been a trend for the Stars late in the first half. They have trouble closing out the half before heading into the dressing room and getting out of it unscathed. And it's happened once again today against the Harrisburg Heat. 3-1 now for the Heat with less than a minute remaining.
I said it in the pregame talk with Alf de Blasis that the MetroStars need to be consistent and sustain the good things that they do for a longer period of time, and they're having a hard time doing that today.
So 2-goal advantage for Harrisburg as Santana blasted up into the corner, and there was some thought behind that. It's going to come to Francis. He takes it off the top of the bar there, but it's going to be a free kick for the MetroStars with 37.8 seconds remaining in the first half. Stick around for the halftime show as Bob and I will head downstairs to the zone, and we'll have highlights of the first half and discuss the good and the bad from the MetroStars in the opening half of play as they trail Harrisburg by 2 goals. Mississauga will try to get off one last good shot, if not two here, to try and at least pull back to within a single goal. Shaq Agard in the corner, quickly muscled off though by Thompson. Harrisburg will try to get it out. Velastegui's got it though. Just over 20 seconds remaining in the opening half. Sean Brown looking in the middle. What's he going to do? Gets it off. Hits off a Harrisburg leg though.
Gotta be careful here.
Yep. Oh, stolen though, and they're going to whistle that down, saying Agard was just a bit overzealous there. And it will be a free kick for the Harrisburg Heat, which is 10.2 seconds remaining. So it might be Harrisburg that ends up getting one last chance before the halftime buzzer goes. As they line things up, downfield Santana plays it up. 6 seconds remaining now. Cut into the middle are Harrisburg. Don't think they're going to get a shot off now though.
It's over.
Nope, won't happen. Buzzer goes. A interesting first half of play for the MetroStars. They were looking like they were certainly picking up things in the second quarter as they even things up against the Harrisburg Heat, only to fall victim again to a bit of a lapse there towards the end of the first half and get burned for 2 goals. So it's 3-1 for the Harrisburg Heat after the opening half of play. We'll be back in just a moment.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
For up-to-the-minute news and information on the Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer Team, visit our website, mississaugametrostars.ca, or follow the team on social media. Use the handle @SaugaMetroStars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and interact with us on game days using the hashtag MetroStarsLive.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
Welcome to the MSL Plays of the Week. Here's the best of the action from Week 14.
Catch every game each week on the league's official streaming home, MASL.tv. Get the latest news on the MASL and your favorite teams. Make sure you are following MASL Soccer on Facebook and Instagram, and MASL Arena on Twitter. Outside of being on the team, the best way to know what's happening in the MSL is to tune in to Kick This. Every weekend, Soccer Sam discusses the ins and outs of all the MASL action. Find Kick This every Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern on iHeartRadio. The Mississauga MetroStars would like to thank Miter USA for providing today's match balls. Miter, founded in Huddersfield, England, is among the world's oldest sporting goods brands, starting production in 1817. Miter is a proud partner of Major Arena Soccer League, providing arena-specific match balls to both the MASL and MASL2. The MASL and Miter share a long-term vision to see arena soccer grow in North America. Miter's Astro Division ball is the official game ball for MASL League play. Miter's Astro Division is designed specifically for play on artificial surfaces. It features a more accurate flight than the average ball and has a 30% reduced bounce to make it play more efficiently in arena soccer.
Hey everybody, welcome to The Zone, our halftime show here for the Mississauga MetroStars. Alex Bastiavansky alongside my partner Bob Arushi, and special guest today, former president of Ontario Soccer, Ron Smill. Ron, welcome.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Bobby.
So you've been out all year watching games. This is your fourth game now for the MetroStars.
That's correct.
And you saw the Baltimore game, which you were really impressed with. What are you thinking of the game so far today at 3-1?
A little lack of energy at this point. Got to stay focused, always alert and aware. I think we need to attack. Stay on the attack all the time, and I think that proved us well last week. We up to a 3-0 lead last week. We got to work hard in the second half.
Bob, how about yourself?
Well, I think after a terrible first quarter, the MetroStars did spark it up a bit and created some chances, scored their goal on a bad line change from Harrisburg, and then in a typical Mississauga MetroStars fashion, they just fell asleep. 10 seconds later, they give the ball away, and you know, people get their heads down and hearts go heavy, and it's tough.
Well, as you mentioned, it was a rough first quarter, but let's pick it up in the second quarter. The MetroStars scoring their first goal to tie things up, and it was interesting because you pointed out to me, I missed it at first, and you mentioned how there were only about 4 Harrisburg players on the pitch. It was a bad line change. So anyway, let's roll that goal. Mississauga's first goal of the game that made it a 1-1 contest, and here it is.
Yeah, you can't tell, but Phillips is all alone on the left and slots it in nicely on the ground. As you can see, there's the player trying to make ground, but it's too late.
And Phillips, who's just been reinserted into the MetroStars lineup after an absence of a few weeks, paying off for the Stars, is that made it 1-1. But then, and I said upstairs, I hate to sound like a broken record, but it's been a problem for the MetroStars closing out the first half of play without giving up a couple goals. That's exactly what happened again today as Harrisburg took the lead 2-1. Let's take a look at the second Harrisburg goal now that came late in the second quarter of play, and it was off a giveaway originally.
Yes, we don't see the giveaway, but here it is. It causes the 2-on-1. An excellent pass to an open Harrisburg winger, and it's easy for him to score.
And that was Francis putting it home for the Harrisburg Heat there. And we'll take a look at the third goal now for Harrisburg. And Ron, I'm not sure if you remember the third one or not, but we'll take a look at it. And you take us through it here about what happened, but a couple of good chances before they finally put it in.
Yeah, there's some great saves there by Bessick. Again, just a good job by the MetroStars in moving the ball around, or I should say Harrisburg. And a great save there, but the finish came here.
It's just scrambling, weren't they? Unfortunately, it was a couple of giveaways, and boom, boom, just like that. And the second Harrisburg goal was actually almost immediately after the MetroStars scored, to tie it up 1-1, and that's been a trend as well, hasn't it? They get a goal, and then almost immediately, it's kind of like a letdown or something. They're not thinking straight, and boom, they
after
get
you score, there's a tendency to relax because you've accomplished something And sometimes that's the worst thing that can happen because, 10 seconds later you lose the ball on a play that should be very simple to execute. And like I said, the team gets their head down, their hearts are heavy, and more mistakes are on the horizon.
Mental toughness, a big part of the game, big part.
We've got about a minute left here, so Ron, let's talk with you about what you've seen from arena soccer and the growth of the sport in Canada and where you see it going.
Yeah, I mean, this is excellent. It's another great opportunity for athletes to participate in a different type or style of game. We here in Toronto are obviously promoting the owners of MetroStars, and we look for great growth here in the GTA area and across Canada. So I'm very pleased to see the unification of the game. It was one of my pillars when I was with Ontario Soccer about unifying sport. And this is just another great avenue and a great opportunity and a great foundation for offering new ways and new plays to play this game. So I'm pleased that Mississauga has embraced it and we take it forward from here.
And you can see how much the kids love it on the field as well. Just so much action as well, getting to play it. We've got to wrap it up now. Thanks so much to you, Ron, for joining us during the halftime of the zone here. And second half coming up right now. Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky to be joined shortly back up top by Bob Arushi here. 3-1 for the Harrisburg Heat over the MetroStars through the first half of play. In the scoring summary, Ricardo Carvalho in the first quarter got things going for Harrisburg. Mississauga managed to notch things up in the second as it was Jared Phillips poking it home with the assist going to Raheem Rose. But unfortunate trend for the MetroStars. 16 seconds later, almost like there's a little letdown after that opening goal by the Stars. And just 16 seconds later, Harrisburg punishes them. Dominic Francis putting it home off a giveaway by the Stars. And then about a minute and a half later was to round out the first half of play. Dwayne Morgan, the rookie, continues to have just a tremendous first year for the Harrisburg Heat as he puts it home to make it 3-1 Heat after the first 30 minutes of play, and that's Morgan's 15th goal on the campaign for the 23-year-old from Spanish Town, Jamaica. As mentioned, just a tremendous opening year for him in the MASL. as they've kicked things off in the second half. Mississauga will see what they can do. I'm nodding it up, and that is just not what they wanted to open the second half of play. That is 12 seconds in. I had to adjust my eyesight there. That happened so quickly off the opening kickoff, but 12 seconds in. Boy, oh boy, the Harrisburg Heat making it 4-1. Looking at my notes, I believe that was Dominic Francis. Oh no, pardon me, that was number 11. Ricardo Carvalho, leading scorer for the Harrisburg Heat, making it 4-1. Bob joining me back here up top here, and I was just saying, certainly not the start the MetroStars were looking for here in the second half.
Well, I mean, it would be something, if I was the coach, I'd be worried. 12 seconds into the third period with your team down 2 goals, your focus just isn't there.
Oh, and nearly a fifth there. Betchich just getting a hand on it, but the MetroStars are scrambling. They look very disorganized right now. As you mentioned, Bob, disheartening considering I'm sure they got a stern talking to in the dressing room from Ricky Titus and Johnny Williams, and regarding ideas, things, what they can do to turn this possibly around, and also probably their energy level in general, and to come out and get scored on in the first 12 seconds, boy, not good. So it'll be a free kick for the MetroStars here.
Well, the goal went off the boards. There was just no reaction to it. And just like the third goal, you have defenders and midfielders standing, waiting for the other guys to react, and nobody reacts. And then all 3 of you look kind of, listless on the play, if I may use that as an adjective.
So we'll see if history repeats itself here as Chambers is in close. Chambers, another chance playing it back for Paredes, but this was the score. Ball pinballing to the crease. This was the score the last time these two teams faced each other. 4-1 for the Harrisburg Heat. MetroStars down by 3 pretty much at the start of the second half of plays. Harrisburg notched the goal early in the second half. Mississauga managed to reel off 5 straight goals to take a 6-4 lead, but they are going to definitely have to up their intensity level in order for that to happen, Bob.
Well, they do. And Babulis hasn't even changed from the beginning of the second half. It's almost 2 minutes into the third quarter, and I got to feel that maybe a little tired.
Long shift, no question about it. Here's Sean Brown in the corner, marked closely by Dylan Hundelt. Harrisburg back to it. Here's Bonahaney. Dwayne Morgan will lose it though. Here's a chance. Sean Brown looked inside for Agard. He is dropped. But let's see what the call is, and it will be a penalty for the MetroStars here. They're calling it a free kick.
Free kick, yeah.
In the box for the Stars as Morgan was chopped down.
I'm still learning the rules to this game now.
Yeah, no, I wasn't sure what he was pointing at there, but no, it's a free kick here, and Harrisburg will set up the wall, and we'll see what Booley does, whether he lays it off for Marco or Matt, or just tries to blast it himself. Blast it right into the wall, though. And Matt Rios will corral it once again. Back for Betchich.
You've got to be a little bit more creative than that, in my opinion. There must be somebody open, or you may be able to create somebody open on a freer shot towards goal with less legs and arms in the way.
Babouli up the wing now. Marked by Francis. Shot, that was from a hard angle too, but nearly managed to put it into the far corner of the net. Dwayne Morgan taken away by Rios. Mo Babouli now. Marked closely, and Rios was chopped down. That was Morgan with the infraction, and Rios still on the pitch. Looks like he's going to get up, though. He's a little unhappy with Morgan for that tackle. Understandably so, but good sportsmanship as the boys helping him up. 12-11 remaining in the third quarter of play here. Mississauga down by a 3 spot to the visiting Harrisburg Heat.
Nobody wants the ball.
Rios plays it in, and nobody gets the ball. Exactly right, Bob. Right to the Harrisburg player. Morgan with the chance now. He's being held up, and that will definitely be whistled down if it doesn't go in, but it goes in.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but Mo Babouli cannot play 3 minutes without changing. He's no good on the field. He's no good marking, and I don't understand how a player can not come off the field from the opening whistle.
Well, Ricky Titus is calling a timeout now. That was Dylan Hundelt putting it into the empty net, and bing, bang, boom, it goes. Giveaway, and They would have whistled it down because Dwayne Morgan was being held up significantly, but he managed to get it over to Dylan Hundelt. It is 5-1 for the Harrisburg Heat. Mississauga needs to find something, needs to dig deep to get things going again as they are down by 4 to the visitors. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastivansky alongside Bob Yarushi, and if you hear the lack of energy in my voice, I think it's being translated up from the field right now. Unfortunately, it's an awful start for the MetroStars in the third quarter here as they've gone down 5-1 now. 2 quick goals by the Harrisburg Heat, and that was the Francis goal, and there's, well, you see, that was Dwayne Morgan being held up significantly by Graham, but gets it over and put home by the Harrisburg player. What do the MetroStars need to do, Bob? I know it's a generic question.
Well,
what do they need to get?
They
get
need
things
to
back
generate
on track?
energy. People have to be, they have to be involved in this game, and they've got to show some passion. And as Stephen Caldwell would say, somebody's got to take the bull by the horns and lead in terms of energy, in terms of communication. But there has to be a change in attitude, because right now, whatever the Stars are doing, it's at the back end of a 5-1 score.
Back on February 17th, the man who did that, as we mentioned, was Mo Babuli, who just had an absolutely dominant performance in that game, in the second half especially, putting the team on his shoulders, spearheading a comeback where they scored 5 straight goals. Now they're going to need, 5 straight goals, or 5 goals at least, if they want to get back into the lead in this game, 4 to tie things up. But it's a lot to ask at the moment, as we haven't seen much from Mississauga, unfortunately. They had a good second quarter, Bob,
yes,
where they got things going again, managed to tie it up, but then a slight letdown, and that was all it took towards the end of the quarter, and Harrisburg knocks 2 quick ones to go up 3-1 by the break.
So a minute and a half at the end of the second, and a minute and a half at the beginning of the third.
And that has been their undoing so far, as Mississauga has a long road to hoe here if they want to make a comeback against the visiting Harrisburg Heat, a team 1 spot up on them in the East Division standings. The team Mississauga, up to this point, had taken 2 of 3.
Nice move.
Good try there by Raheem Rose, but it deflects into the crowd. But they had won 2 of 3 encounters against Harrisburg up to this point. But Harrisburg, if things continue like this, will take their 2nd straight against the MetroStars after capturing a victory 2 weeks ago in Harrisburg. Santana, marked by Velastegi. Santana off to Hundelt. Hundelt goes far side. Back for Bonahaney.
See the number of players that are back, to help bring the ball up. Four Harrison players before halftime. Halfway.
Well, Mississauga looks like they're getting tunnel vision as well. When the players got the ball, everyone's focusing on him and leaving an open man behind with no coverage on him. Francis crosses back over midfield. No rush for Harrisburg at all right now. Obviously, with the 4-goal spread here, they're content to play at their own pace and let Mississauga have to take the game to them, but they continue to play with no fear against the MetroStars as they were in tight there. Becic corralling, though, imploring his team to have some movement and get open, as they're mostly standing still up to this point. Patrick Thompson playing it back for Francis. Bonahaney giving it a boot up the middle. That'll find a man. It was Carvalho. And Harrisburg leading the MetroStars in a merry little chase right now. It sort of looks like the Globetrotters and the Generals out there on the field. In tighter, Harrisburg off to the side now. Mississauga, oh boy, cleared off the line by Mobabuli. Second shot over top into the mesh. But this is like men against boys out there right now, Bob, unfortunately.
They're enjoying the game. They feel confident. Each player has that much more extra energy in him, and it causes for the ball to move quicker and Mississauga players to run even further and faster to try and get the ball back.
Unfortunately, you would never know it that, as we talked about, the MetroStars have taken 2 of 3 games against Harrisburg so far this year, but I think it's a combination. This looks like an entirely different Harrisburg team, the way they're playing, the confidence today, and also a letdown by the MetroStars, and that is a bad combination any way you look at it for Mississauga up to this point. Even the MetroStars supporter section, Sauga City, pretty quiet in this game. Haven't heard the drums much. There hasn't been much to get excited about, though, as they trail by 4 goals right now with just over 8 minutes remaining in the third quarter of play. Devoy Morgan marked closely. Agard will get it up for Babuli on the far side. He's got Chambers. Chambers with a bit of room. Chambers too far in the corner, though. Plays it off the board. He was looking for Babuli, but a little bit too much on that.
Well, I think he lost balance and the ball got away from him.
Played back in by Harrisburg now. Patrick Thompson gets it back. Marked by Chambers. We see that quickness that Darren Chambers possesses. Just couldn't quite get his foot on the ball at that point. Nice movement there by Harrisburg in the zone once again. Ball deflects off. Headed back into the arms of Beckich by Damian Graham. 7:20 remaining in the third quarter of play. Mississauga is going to start a comeback. They need to get something going pretty quickly here.
Well done.
Damian Graham shakes off his man who goes down. Graham off the boards. Might have been better just to take that up further. Is continuing to lie on the field is Vesko Konov. And he looks to be in significant distress. Not sure if we can get another look at that, but Graham just sort of shrugged him off there. And let's see what happened there, because Koznov is not, it looks like he's in significant pain. Is the way he stepped down on the turf. Yeah, it wasn't the foul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he went over on his ankle.
Went over on his ankle, which has been an unfortunate.
No, it looks like his knee now.
Is it? Yeah. Boy, this has been a rough night for that. They may be up 5-1 on the scoreboard, but it has been a rough night for the Harrisburg Heat. And I think it was the first, 12 seconds of the game, a collision between Sean Brown and Matt Perella.
Yeah.
That forced Perella to miss the game and William Bonahaney to come in. And then it was Bonahaney who, for a few moments there, looked like he might have to leave the game, which would have left Harrisburg in a very awkward position. But we're going to take a quick timeout as Konov is down on the field. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
Slovenian national champion in basketball and boxing. She started boxing at 20 years old and had her professional debut in 2018 Hungary. Her next fight is March 29th at the Mattamy Athletic Center in Toronto. Fans, please welcome Tanya Ovsenik. We'd like to present you with your very own Mississauga MetroStars jersey. Thank you for supporting the Mississauga MetroStars, Tanya. Good luck with your fight on the 29th and enjoy today's game. Fans, Tanya will be available for autographs following the game on the concourse by Gate A.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bob Yarushi as we see number 7 for the Harrisburg Heat, Vesko Konov, limping off, and we were just recapping before we went to the break. It's been a rough night so far for Harrisburg from an injury perspective. First, Perella goes out of the game within the first, 12 seconds. Bonahaney nearly had to leave as he came down hard on his ankle and had to be attended to on the field. And that would have bet both goalkeepers out of the game, and now Vesko Konov just kind of fell awkwardly when he was being pressured by Damian Graham. No foul on the play, but he came down awkwardly, and he's limping off the field now. So Harrisburg up on the scoreboard, but they are suffering physically in this game as they've got a few of the walking wounded either out there or on the bench now. In close for Harrisburg, and Becic had to be on his toes there to make the stop. Chambers, lots of room now. He's got Graham on the left-hand side, finds him. What does Graham do? Graham off the boards and nothing doing. Didn't hit it there. Back for Chambers. Chambers, Rios. Chambers alongside. Chambers taken away though. Turned back upfield by Harrisburg.
Well backed by Chambers though.
Here's Dwayne Morgan. Morgan off to the side. Harrisburg in close. Good stop by Becic. Morgan was lining it up but couldn't get it off. Pushed into the boards by Paredes. Morgan wanted a foul there. None forthcoming though. As Rios fights off his man. Pardon me, that was Paredes. Now here's Rios. He's got Graham on the left. That's about it though. Graham will play it back for Rios. He's got Paredes. There he gives it to him. Paredes inside for Babuli. Here's Rose. Raheem Rose shot, but too easy for Bonahaney. Right into his waiting arms.
A lot of individual play, Alex, and as much as the MetroStars, are going to give it the best they can, they seem to be a little bit lost with regards to how to break down the Harrisburg defense.
The shots right now are only 18-14 for Harrisburg, just 4 more shots than the MetroStars, but they've looked far more dangerous, and they've just made much better use of their opportunities than Mississauga have. Shaq Agard's got a bit of room down the right side, but that's immediately taken away.
Very good recover there.
Yeah, that was William Eske getting over very quickly to nullify anything for Agard. Up the middle it goes. Because now we hear the Sauga City supporters in the background trying to get something going by the team and the crowd, who've been fairly quiet. Oh boy, in close Carvalho. Made a meal of it though. Just wide of the far post. Ricardo Carvalho looking for the hat trick tonight. So close, Bob.
Yeah, Bezic came out to try and help in the distribution and lost the ball. And Carvalho had an empty net and just missed on the left side.
Here's Thompson now. He's got Francis to his right. Thompson in double coverage. Francis, nicely done by Harrisburg to get it out of that tight situation though. They look much, much sharper than the MetroStars do up to this point in the contest, as we've got 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. 5-1 for the Harrisburg Heat. Fighting alongside the boards there, Victor Weaver. He's pushed by Marco, and
Rodriguez is looking for trouble. Unfortunately, he's getting beat on the play, and he's trying to recover using his arms. And referee's called him on it, and then he's all frustrated over it. So
I think there's a lot of frustration out there right now for the MetroStars, Bob, no question about it.
I know how he feels. I probably did the same myself as a player, but it's the wrong thing to do at the wrong time.
And it's much easier for us to say that up in the box, isn't it? Because
sure.
you know exactly how it feels, don't you, when you're down there?
He wants to get the ball back. It's just not working out for him, and he's frustrated.
When you should be really worried is when you don't get hot in a situation like this. You got to be frustrated.
Yeah, you got to care.
And PO'd right now because it just hasn't been there for them today, and you need to have a bit of fire in your belly, no question about it. I don't mind seeing that from Rodriguez at all. Marco's shot just wide of the net. Rose now. Rose cuts inside. He's got some room. Bonahaney was going the wrong way and managed to just stop it with his trailing foot there.
He was very fortunate, as you said. That trailing foot was the last to touch the ball, as it looked like it was destined to go in.
Here's Becic well out of his goal now. Here's Phillips alongside. Looked like it was all ball, but Dwayne Morgan, Dwayne Morgan will get whistled down. It'll be a free kick for the MetroStars. Mobabuli will take it. 3:25 remaining in the third quarter of play. 5-1 Harrisburg. Mississauga needs to start something. And we said this last time, a call to action. It was Mobabuli who answered the call last time when they were down 4-1 against Harrisburg. Who's going to do it this time? Will there be someone who steps up for the MetroStars? Put this team on his back. It'd be nice to see more than one person do it, though, no question about it. It's a lot to ask of one player. They need a team effort here in order to pull themselves out of this hole they've dug. Off the boards, Good idea by Phillips, but no one out front. Damian Graham will play it back for Becic. He's got Paredes to his right, lay it off for Josh. Here's Josh. Off to the side, Babuli. Marked by DePrima. Babuli muscled into the boards there, but holds on to it for the moment. He's in double coverage though. 2 Harrisburg players on him. Oh, good job. Back for Phillips. Phillips cuts inside some room. Oh, what a great save by Bonahaney.
Wow.
Great stop by the Harrisburg keeper. Off his mitt and then off the goalpost to stay out. Graham off the glass. Better sequence by the MetroStars. What a job by Mobile to get himself out of trouble there.
Yes,
though, Bob.
he did, yeah. He was double teamed. It looked like he was going to cough up the ball, but perseverance, he got through it and created that chance where the Harrisburg goalie made just an unbelievable reflex save.
Next time we get a break and play, we'll see if we can take a look at that excellent stop by Bonahaney. That's probably the stop of the game up to this point. Great stuff. Here's Sebastian Lopez. Once again, 2 Harrisburg players on the Mississauga player immediately, and they'll get whistled down for that one. Quickly taken, Matt Rios. Rios shot inside, off the Harrisburg player though, and they will just boot it up, and this could be trouble. Harrisburg on the attack, but Mississauga will be able to get some men back and set up defensively. Minute 40 remaining in the third quarter. 5-1 for Harrisburg. Mississauga with some good extended pressure there about 45 seconds ago that resulted in an excellent chance against the Heat. Unfortunately, we haven't seen enough of that today. It's been short bursts by the MetroStars. Nice play by Harrisburg out front. Francis off to the side, shot, and it's in.
Wow.
Ricardo Carvalho gets the hat trick.
Put that in the highlight reel. That was beautiful.
That will be on Inside Arena Soccer this week, I can guarantee you. Tic-tac-toe. Absolutely brilliant passing by the Harrisburg Heat, and it is 6-1.
And it's Dom Francis again, the architect. He's had a great game today.
He has. Tremendous game by Dominic Francis, and for Ricardo Carvalho, as we mentioned, that is a hat trick for himself. And just counting up for Francis here, he's got a goal, he's got an assist, so 2 points on the day so far for Dominic Francis. Harrisburg looking like world beaters right now. I don't think Mississauga is helping that much though, the way they for the most part played today, but just great movement by Harrisburg.
Well, I think this, we're always learning in this game, especially Mississauga, the first year team. And I think this is where Ricky Titus has to show a little bit of his coaching's acumen by getting the guys to focus. There's still another quarter to play, Alex. And it'd be nice to see Mississauga beat Harrisburg in the fourth quarter.
Out front there, Sean Brown had it but whiffed on it on the doorstep. Well,
when I say beat them, I mean just at least win the fourth quarter.
No question about it. It's about small battles right now, isn't it? We knew coming in this year it would be an education for the MetroStars. They're going to school, no question about it. Their first year in the MASL. One player with MASL experience coming into this season, and Marco Rodriguez, who played for the Florida Tropics last season. So they've been up against it. They've been learning on the job, no doubt about it. As you just mentioned, Bob, small battles at this point, and it's going to be difficult to come back from 6-1, but at least maybe get a couple back and try to finish on a strong note after a difficult game up to this point.
Right. In other words, just reflect what has happened. Well, guys, it's now the end of the third quarter. Let's go in it, understanding what our game plan was from the beginning. Let's see if we can execute the final 15 minutes for our fans.
Free kick for the MetroStars here. Not much time. 2.2 seconds left in the third quarter. Here's a chance. Rose out front, shot.
Oh, wow.
Just before the buzzer, but I'm not sure that would have counted anyway. Over the net it goes. After 3 quarters of play right now, it is all Harrisburg as they are leading the MetroStars by a 6-1 count. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. We'll be right back.
At Monte Carlo Inns, we're the first to admit there's no place like home. So let us welcome you to the next best place, where guests feel like regulars, even on their first day, where you can be as productive as you like, or, if you choose, not at all. Where quality, service, and value are commitments, not rhetoric. With Toronto at arm's length and everything else within your grasp, Monte Carlo Inns is your home away from home.
For up-to-the-minute news and information on the Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer Team, visit our website, mississaugametrostars.ca, or follow the team on social media. Use the handle @SaugaMetroStars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and interact with us on game days using the hashtag MetroStarsLive.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bobby Arushi. Is it 6-1 for the Harrisburg Heat? And, well, the best chance the Mississauga had in the third quarter was certainly about the one we're about to see here, Bob, and it was just a tremendous save by keeper William Bonahany.
Well, this is Mo Babuli setting it up here for Phillips, and he rockets it, and look at that left arm from the Harrisburg goalie, and just an unbelievable reflex save. Watch Phillips take it to his right, line it up, looks like it's in, and out comes the left arm of Batagui. Is that his last name?
Bonahany.
Sorry.
Bonahany, yeah, but off his fingertips and then off the post, and that's why the ball came back, ricocheted back like
Bonahany.
that.
Will Bonahany.
Bonahany, correct, yeah.
My apologies, Will.
We already thought he was diving early. We can't mess up his name too, can we? Jeez, we've been giving him a hard time today. No, he's played a great game.
It hasn't affected him, has it?
No, it has not. No, and again, there hasn't been a ton of sustained pressure, as we mentioned. I mean, looking at him getting some updated shot totals here.
So let's go, MetroStars.
Even shots, yeah. 19-19 to this point.
Let's see a good fourth quarter here for the fans. Come on.
As Bob mentioned before the end of the quarter, see if you can. 5 goals is a lot to ask. 5 straight goals for the MetroStars in a single quarter, but try to maybe end things off on a positive note and outplay the Harrisburg Heat in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, let's take it to them.
So here we go. Damian Graham to kick things off. Here's referees get the clock set up. Last 15 minutes of play unless Mississauga can pull one out of the hat, grab 5 goals and force overtime against the Harrisburg Heat. It is a tall order, no question about it, but as we've discussed many times, the goals come in bunches in arena soccer. Anything can happen. Paredes with a shot.
Wow, 4 versus 2, and he opts for the shot and it's blocked. I mean, that's unbelievable.
There's Paredes again.
Just a terrible decision at the wrong time.
Off to the side, Damian Graham back for Marco Rodriguez. Josh Paredes looking upfield. Into the corner now, Chambers. They know all about Chambers' speed. They're marking him closely every time he gets that ball. Marco, a little bit of room here, setting things up. Marco going to his left. Here's Mo Babuli. Babuli in coverage. Nice move to the inside. On the boards now. Marco cut off though. Nice defensive play by William Eske, and Harrisburg will just boot it out. They'll be content to do that. Hopefully not out of bounds all the time, but certainly up the field is. With a 5-goal cushion, they're happy just to waste as much time as possible. They're in no rush.
This is a cruel game, Alex, and you think sometimes you have to take the team on your back, and you try to do too much, and this game punishes you. The way to play indoor soccer is least touches the better, and get people to move off the ball.
Well, you wonder how long it's going to take for Mississauga to throw on the white jersey and have somebody come out as the 6th attacker here, because they need goals, and at some point they're going to take a chance. Open goal, and oh boy, That was Alberto Harris. Couldn't properly hit the ricochet off the boards there, and had a wide open net to shoot for.
Boy.
Harrisburg into the corner now. Dominic Francis. Francis, what does he do? Shot on goal. Nice stop by Becic. Out front again, Thompson. And then off Chambers' foot and out of bounds.
Good defending there at the back.
So 13:01 remaining in the fourth quarter of play. Mississauga needs 5 to tie here against Harrisburg. Thompson back for Broom. Into the corner. Harris and Massimo Mirabelli. Mirabelli off the boards. Chambers, see if he can find him back again.
Well played.
Just couldn't get it to him though. He had Mirabelli breaking up there, but couldn't quite find him with the
He's
ball.
open. He missed him.
Babuli. 1-on-4.
Yeah, well.
Babuli needs some help there. Well, managed to get a good shot off in the end. But he's just surrounded by purple jerseys there. I'm surprised he got a shot off as good as he did. It was, considering the circumstances, a good shot, but boy, that ball misplayed by Marco into the crowd. Just nothing going right for the MetroStars.
Babuli had his outlet right at the beginning of that sequence and failed to deliver, and then after that he just got caught up in trying to do things on his own. And as I said before, it's a cruel game that way, and indoor soccer is a tough game to play, and you've got to play it the right way, using all the 5 people on the field with you.
Well, realistically, it was just him and Mirabelli. There was no help there, and Harrisburg clogged that up really, really quick. So they're going to take a timeout here. So shall we. 12 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter of play. The Harrisburg Heat, a commanding 6-1 lead over the Mississauga MetroStars. We'll be back in just a moment. Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavansky alongside Bobby Arushi. 6-1 for the visiting Harrisburg Heat, as we're going to take a look at a couple of the Mississauga chances here that happened just before the timeout occurred, and we just got the tail end of that one there, and that was Chambers, okay, in close, and nothing doing. And then Mobabuli on the run here. That was 1-on-4, and he managed to get a good shot off, but you would have liked to seen a pass earlier in that sequence you were saying, Bob.
Well, I mean, his teammate was open right at the beginning when he received the ball. He slots that through. He's got a chance to break in. After that went, I mean, Mo didn't have a lot of support after that anyway, but then you end up kind of just, playing with it on your own, looking for any type of an opening for any type of a shot, which is exactly what happened.
So it's going to be a free kick here for Harrisburg. And interestingly enough, Mississauga, Santana's shot deflected just wide of that. Mississauga out shooting Harrisburg 21-20, but it's been the quality of chances. Harrisburg has looked much more cohesive, much more dangerous than the MetroStars have this afternoon. And it's certainly showing on the score sheet as they lead by 5 goals over the first year. MetroStars ball deflects off. Shaq Agard out of bounds. Santana barking instructions as he'll bring it back in for Harrisburg. Upfield it goes, and everyone was looking the other way as all alone was Carvalho in front of the net there. Yep. Nobody was marking him whatsoever, and how the leading scorer for Harrisburg.
Look at the ball movement here from Harrisburg.
Tremendous.
Fabulous. Look at that.
Babuli turning it upfield now. 2 Mississauga players and 4 Harrisburg, and they just swarm them. And they will regroup and start things over once again. Harrisburg up by 5, but They look like they want more. They're not content to just sit back and let Mississauga come to them. They continue to take the game to the MetroStars in this contest as they just try to play it out of harm's way there, and it goes into the netting. But yeah, Bob, it's just been
well, it's frustrating to watch. I know that the MetroStars players, each one of them must feel frustrated. But it's like I said, it's a team game, and it's kinetic, you know, because then whatever energy is mustered up seems to flow through everybody else, and if it happens at the right time, then you create some magic, and that's what is needed. But when it doesn't happen, you're looking for somebody to do it, and then when it comes to you, you think you can do it, and it all goes wrong.
We'd be tempted to look at Harrisburg's record this season against Mississauga. Of course, they had lost 2 out of 3 coming into this game. Their spot in the standings, they're 1 spot ahead of the MetroStars in the East Division with a 6-10 record up to this point. But they are a dangerous team. They've got wins over some of the best teams in the MASL. Of course, the Milwaukee Wave, as we talked about. They've also beaten Utica. They've also beaten Baltimore.
Wow.
And they've also taken down an experienced Kansas City Comet squad. So there's absolutely no reason for the MetroStars to be taking them lightly in this game, because Harrisburg is a dangerous squad, no question about it.
Yeah. I don't know if they took them lightly yet.
Whistle down, and it's going to be a foul against the MetroStars, as lying on the pitch is Danny DePrima, and he's not quite getting up yet. Let's see, here's another look at the infraction. There's the shot into Bonahaney's hand.
That's
and then,
Rose.
And then from behind. Yeah, Raheem Rose. A little bit of a
Rose,
knee
yeah.
to the ribs, looked like almost, but.
He got his foot up a little high,
Yeah.
and I think DePrima is looking for a rest.
No card on the play, though, so it'll simply be Harrisburg ball. 10:07 remaining in the 4th quarter. As he's going to limp off to the bench here and get subbed out most likely. No, staying on the pitch. Now he's going to head off now. Okay, DePrima heads off, and on hops a fresh player. Dwayne Morgan's shot, but that heads up over top of the net into the mesh. And it will be MetroStars ball. Let's see if we can get some team statistics for Harrisburg, who certainly have racked it up today. And Carvalho with a hat trick so far. Daniel Villela with 2 assists, 2 points on the day. Tavoy Morgan with 1 goal and 1 helper. Dominic Francis, a goal and a helper as well for 2 points. So spreading out the scoring are the Harrisburg Heat in this contest. As Escobar looks on, way down the field and almost burns Betches, but here's Francis in tight. Francis,
oh, what a goal.
Top corner.
Class.
Goes.
Class finish.
Dominic Francis. And a dominant performance continues for the Harrisburg Heat. 7-1, Bob.
As the British would say, that's an educated left peg there. Lovely goal.
But Santana almost put it in from, about 170 feet away. Rung it just wide of the net, but there was Francis to correct it. Mississauga's going to obviously bench it out of the net. Mississauga needs to start taking a lot more chances now, so it's not unexpected. But Francis with the clinical finish. 7-1 now for the Harrisburg Heat over a simply overwhelmed Mississauga squad on this day anyway, who just haven't been able to get things going against the visitors. That one actually behind Bonahaney and off the boards, and now back for Shaq Agard. Shaq, 1-on-3 there. Those are bad odds any way you look at them. No one to pass off to. Now here's Babuli. Babuli, Escobar's on him. Babuli cutting inside. Phillips, shot off the top of the glass. And Harrisburg will be content just to casually boot it downfield and relieve the pressure. Alberto Harris. He's got Mirabelli. Elects to go back for Jared Phillips, the goal scorer for the MetroStars this afternoon. Mirabelli looking for Babuli. That was a nice pass inside, but that's taken away from Babuli.
Well played.
Alberto Harris along the wing off the glass. He's got Shaq Agard right there. That was a good idea. And he used the bank well. Agard just couldn't corral it though. Shaq.
Too much velocity on it.
Yeah. Babuli off the behind of Matt Brom, taking one for the team. MetroStars regroup here. Phillips, Mr. Moe, back for Jared. 7 minutes, 45 seconds remaining in the final quarter of play here. Shot on goal by Mo Babuli into the hands of Bonahaney, but nice header by Mo. Just couldn't slide it past the keeper.
He was there. He couldn't generate enough power for it to be effective.
So we see everyone skying for the ball. Finally, Rios comes up with it. Here's Mo. 1-on-3 though, taken away easily by the Harrisburg player. Rodriguez is on Weaver. That'll come back now. Harrisburg will play it back to Bonahaney for Brom.
Yeah.
Francis had it over top of his head. Here's Paredes. Back for Becic. He'll walk it up. Marco Rodriguez on the right side. Francis eyeing him. Marco misses his man though, and Harrisburg will pounce on that. Francis, nice pass. Great ball movement again by Harrisburg. Back though is Raheem Rose to take that away. And Rose has got a bit of space
Red
now.
card.
And Marco is immediately going to get a blue card. Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Frustration.
He's
and now
he's
Marco.
just an idiot. You know, he's out of order. Get him off.
Frustration boiling over for Marco Rodriguez and the MetroStars. Marco was saying, he was pointing to his back, I guess, saying the referees missed some sort of infraction previously, but you can't do that, what he did. That's going to be an automatic every time. And Marco has been given a blue card, and not sure if he's going to get a red or not, but here's another look at the infraction as a little poke behind there, and then Marco reacts.
He kicks at his ankle.
Yeah.
He doesn't kick, violently, but he definitely looking to send a message. He's claiming he got elbowed. He's lucky he's still in the park.
So Marco's going to sit for 2 minutes, and as you said earlier in the game, Bob, and it's the same with this. It's the same with football, same with hockey. The referees always get the retaliation. Now, watch Marco come back up here, and he grabs him by the neck briefly.
He's still looking for trouble. The first incident wasn't enough for him. So,
Bob, could that not have been a red card right there for grabbing him like that? He's actually lucky he got away with the blue, but it very, very frustrated Marco Rodriguez.
No, they're throwing him out.
Are they tossing him for that? Now Marco's saying he's making the point that it looked like he was definitely touched in the back. There's no question about it. But Marco will hit the showers early with 6 minutes and 41 seconds remaining, and he's walking over to the Harrisburg side. I'm guessing that's probably not where he's supposed to go out. He's supposed to go off on the MetroStars side, but Marco very upset at the moment, and frustration boiling over as he is sent out of the game. Mo Babuli is having a conversation with the officials down low, but it's just no question a frustrating day for the MetroStars. Is they are, no question about it, having their lunch eaten by the Harrisburg Heat. 7-1 for Harrisburg. And while they're taking care of this and discussing things, we'll take a quick break. You're watching Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV.
If your hearing is deteriorating and you're ready to look for a solution, turn to Pro Sound Hearing Center. As a locally owned and operated family company, we care about our community, and we strive to provide the best possible hearing services.
We're very client-oriented and client-focused. I feel like that's what made us stand out and win this award today.
Thank you to the City of Mississauga, the Mississauga News, and of course our clients and everyone who voted for us.
For up-to-the-minute news and information on the Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer Team, visit our website, mississaugametrostars.ca, or follow the team on social media. Use the handle @SaugaMetroStars on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and interact with us on game days using the hashtag MetroStarsLive.
Welcome back to Mississauga MetroStars Arena Soccer on MASL TV. Alex Bastiavanski alongside Bobby Arushi. As in this contest, it has been all Harrisburg. The Heat leading the MetroStars by a 7-1 count as we are winding things down in the fourth quarter. And I would say thankfully for the MetroStars, that's the case, Bob, is we were hoping for a pushback in the fourth quarter at least. That's what you were asking for, some positives, but unfortunately it's just not happening up to this point.
Well, it's tough. I know it's hard. You're losing by a high number. You're at home. You're trying to generate some momentum, and it's just not happening. So it's easy to get your head down, that's for sure. But the coaching staff is there to make sure that they don't. Lift your heads, go out there, put on a good shift, play quickly, 1.5 minute shifts, maximum, and get off. Let the next guy go on. That's what I would be preaching. No use, quitting. Nobody should ever quit in a soccer game, ever, no matter what the score is.
You were commenting earlier in the game, you were seeing some really, really long shifts out there by a couple of players. Babuli was one of them where you noticed him being out there for at least 2.5 minutes, I think it was. And you'd like to see it be a bit quicker than that.
But it sends the wrong message to the other players. So,
and it's not like they were pinned in their zone either for a portion of that. I think the change could have been made, so that's something they're going to certainly have to go over in terms of strategy and making it, a bit quicker. But right now, it's rough stuff for the MetroStars. Marco Rodriguez, in case you're joining us and you just missed it, was ejected from the game for first a foul, an initial foul, and then a follow-up infraction where he actually briefly grabbed the player's neck, and the officials were having none of that. So after initially going to the box for a 2-minute infraction, he was sent to the showers early, and Sebastian Lopez is going to serve the 2-minute infraction. So to make things even worse for the MetroStars, 2 minutes in the sin bin, and it will be 6-5 for, pardon me, let me rephrase that. It will be an extra attacker out here for the Harrisburg Heat as the MetroStars will be down now. 5 players on the floor. Harrisburg, of course, in no rush to do anything at this point, leading by 6 goals, just playing out the clock. And at this point, hoping to get out of this contest without any more injuries. They've already had one to keeper Matt Perella, Bonahaney with another, and then Vesko Konov. And actually, I'm not sure, have you seen him back out here since, Bob? I haven't actually been looking for him, but I haven't mentioned his name at all since he went off with that, twisted his knee, it looked like, in the third quarter.
Based on the score, if there is any reason not to play him or not to risk further injury, that this would be the moment to do it.
Good point, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, but this is exactly what they should be doing, Harrison, just keeping the ball. They don't need to score another goal. They just need the clock to keep moving towards 0-0. So
that's all they really want at this point, is just finish this game off. And Harrisburg is making some noise in the East Division now.
Yeah,
they're looking. Yeah,
good victories, as you said at the beginning of the show. They've won 3 or 4 out of the last.
They've currently won since losing to Mississauga back on February 17th. They've won 3 or 4, so they will have won 4 or 5 now.
There you go.
They'll have improved their record to 7-10 in the East Division, and suddenly will be knocking on the door anyway of. I mean, there's a lot of work for them to do, but improving to 7-10 right now. Baltimore sits at 11-6, so they'd really have to win out their schedule. But after a rough start to the season for Harrisburg, they're finishing off very strong.
Well, the officials are calling the Mississauga player back. I don't know if he left too early or what the decision is here. Coming out of the penalty box a little early, I don't know.
Well, so Lopez is still sitting in the box, though. And here's a discussion the officials are having. I'm not sure if our camera got exactly what happened there, but Mississauga has been given another 2-minute infraction.
Really?
There's 2 minutes up on the board here, and it's Lopez that continues to sit in the box. This is anything that could go wrong today for the MetroStars has gone wrong. So not sure if we'll get any notification from downstairs about exactly what the infraction was, but you're saying you thought you saw him possibly leave a little bit early? Are you just guessing at this point like I am?
I'm guessing. I'm not so sure. Unless maybe it's an incurring 4-minute penalty, so 2 plus 2, right? Maybe that was the original call on Rodriguez.
Well, end result, whether there was something additional that happened or not, it is 2 more minutes for Lopez in the box. Santana off the board. Beautiful play, but great stop by Becic to get back and save the MetroStars bacon once again as he makes a nice save there.
Yes, he sure did.
Rose applying the pressure. Bonahaney will simply boot it up pitch. Mobabuli letting it fall back into the hands of Adrian Becic. Probably not going to see a ton of pressure from Harrisburg from this point out, despite having a man advantage.
No need.
Probably just passing it around the perimeter mostly, but it could very much prove me wrong. They do, and it goes. Boy, I have a way of just jinxing things, don't I? It's unbelievable.
A great penetrating pass there from the Prima, I think, and an excellent first-time finish right in the corner. The Mississauga defense had come up to pinch and left the furthest man away from the ball alone, and the diagonal pass was perfect, and the finish was excellent, and it's now 8-1 at home.
I believe that was Carvalho getting it once again, and that would be 4 for Ricardo on the day, if that's who it was who finished it off, and it is, yeah, he's holding up the 4 there. So great finish, and I'm no longer going to either congratulate the MetroStars on a good play or say that they're about to kill off a penalty or make any predictions as to what may or may not happen, because every single time I do, the opposition seems to score a goal right away, so I'm zipping it from this point on. But 8-1 for the Harrisburg Heat over the MetroStars. The good news is they are back to 6-on-6 now. Chambers cutting across the middle. Shot inside, and that'll dribble all the way in. Just a slow roller that I'm not sure if Bonahaney was screened on, but the end result is it's a second goal for the MetroStars. Chambers getting it.
I don't think he saw it, and the ball didn't have a lot of pace on it. Maybe that was its advantage because it seemed to have just snuck through to the corner. Let's watch this replay here.
Oh, Bonahaney's totally screened.
Well, but Graham dummies it.
Yeah.
Well, let's watch it again now. Watch Graham here. He dummies it. Look.
Yeah. Could have put his foot down. You're right, and he let it go. Very nicely done. So second goal from the MetroStars. That will not likely ease the sting of this very much, but at least it's a second goal after only one on the afternoon up to this point. Dwayne Morgan, great stop by Becic. Goalie style, hockey style, pardon me, as he gets the left glove hand out and just deflects it away. Here's Paredes. Villastegui shot. Francis getting in the way, though. Back to David. He corrals it in the corner. Should play it back for Mo. He does. Babuli avoiding Tavoy Morgan. Becic has really had a good game today for the MetroStars, despite being under fire. He's made some really nice saves for the home squad. Babuli trying to get around Tavoy Morgan. He does. Babuli off the boards, out front. Handball. That'll be called in the box. No question about it. Blue card goes up immediately. There'll be another great chance for the MetroStars here, as it will be a penalty kick in the box for the MetroStars. Handball off the boards. Babuli making things happen once again there.
Well, you see, and these are the moments that we needed at the beginning of the quarter, when the score was 5-1 or 6-1, and we were still urging the MetroStars to look for those moments that give them the momentum, right? And I'm sure it's come too late now, but
So it'll be a penalty kick for Mobabuli, a chance to add a third for the MetroStars. Far too little too late, obviously, trailing by 6 here with 2:04 left in the fourth quarter, but see if he can get a third regardless. Mo shoots, scores.
wow.
Mr. Mo, elementary, clinical with the finish, makes it 8-3, and showing a bit of frustration afterwards as well as he was trying to grab the ball right away, but Bonahany playing a bit of cat and mouse with him. Just freezes the keeper and then puts it top shelf. So it's a 5-goal advantage for the Harrisburg Heat. Plus 2 minutes in the box, so a chance for the MetroStars to possibly notch a fourth and cut that deficit in half.
Does he still have to serve the penalty even though they scored?
He still does.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yep, so he's going to continue to sit for 2 minutes. That's a double whammy, isn't it?
Yeah.
In arena soccer, so. Not a lot to cheer for the Sauga City supporters group today, but they'll take it any way they can, as it's been a much better finish from the MetroStars. At least notching a couple here in the fourth quarter of play.
Well, there's a bit of excitement in the building, isn't there? I mean,
and a good crowd today, too.
It has been a good crowd,
yeah. Just disappointing it had to be this score today on an afternoon where they had a lot of youngsters out, and good crowd in the building here. Velistegi, Chambers, Darren Chambers,
well
inside,
done.
bit of room, off the boards. Oh, great creativity there by Darren Chambers, and he shows that speed once again.
He sure did.
Velistegi. Out to Josh Paredes. Paredes. Mobabuli. Babuli shot. Oh, a lot on that one. Fires it wide though, and it'll come into the corner. Back to Becic. He's got some pressure coming here. Becic. Very close there. Very close as he had Viela on him like a cheap suit, but he manages to corral it just in time. Paredes. Under a minute remaining in the fourth quarter of play now. Mississauga will just see if he can possibly try to notch a fourth goal in this contest, but miscommunication there, and Harrisburg will be able to boot it right up the field once again. Paredes looks up at the clock. Under 30 seconds left now. Chambers, Darren Chambers to the middle. Off to the side, but Harrisburg turning it upfield once again, just laying it across the boards. Back for Becic as we enter the last 10 seconds of play now. Babuli to the middle. Babuli, the left footer, shot on goal, and it's in. There you go. Mo Babuli grabs a fourth for the MetroStars with 4.8 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. So a bit of pushback from Mississauga in the fourth as they notch 3 goals, but unfortunately not going to be enough on this day, as it's still a 4-goal spread for the Harrisburg Heat. But nice play by Mo there.
Very good. I mean, kept the ball low, very similar to the goal that beat the Bonahany just previously, low right into the same corner, and a lot of bodies in front of the net.
And time will expire as the Harrisburg Heat take it to the MetroStars by an 8-4 count on a disappointing day from the Paramount Fine Food Center. Bob, well, tough day all around for the MetroStars, no question, but that's the easy way of putting it anyway. Yeah.
A lot of credit to Harrisburg. They really deserve the win. Obviously, in my opinion, a much better team on the day. And, you know, this is a game of moments and breaks. And Mississauga surely didn't get any.
They did not. It's you know, taking a look at the final shots of the contest here as they come up. You know, 26-24. Mississauga actually outshot Harrisburg on the day. But Harrisburg, I'd say, boy, 80% of the game, they had the high energy, far higher energy level anyway than the MetroStars did, and that made a big difference. And also the MetroStars seemed to look confused out there, as you mentioned as well, defensively at times. as well as offensively. So we're about to throw down on the field here. Nicky Jeffrey has got Dominic Francis, who had a great game for the Harrisburg Heat. Nicky, it's all yours.
3, 2, 1, switch audio. Let's get her mic.
Head to
big win for your team today, and 2 goals and an assist from you.
Thank
what
you
did you
once
like about
again
your
for
team's
joining
overall
us
play
this afternoon and supporting your Metro
we were strong
Stars.
defensively as a team.
Get home safely
That's
and
been
have an
lacking
excellent Saturday night.
Beginning part of the season, but it's slowly coming together. It's coming together as we go along. I was just saying, road wins are rare to come by for us, so we've got to take it as we go and move on. So we've got a more important game tomorrow, so we've just got to go home, rest up, and look forward to that.
Congratulations on the win. Thanks for speaking with me.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
And here with MetroStars head coach Rick Titus, obviously not the result that you wanted today, but we're going into our final match here at the Paramount Fine Food Center on Friday, March 22nd. What are you hoping to bring to that final match with your team?
What I saw today is that we have a young team that needs to learn about passion and what it means to play for the crowd and play for your home fans. We'll work on that for a couple of weeks, and we'll work on our defensive set, make sure that we're a bit more organized and a bit more committed to making the tackle, helping our teammates out, and being a bit more a family on the field.
Thanks for speaking with me, Rick.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to that final home game on March 22nd. I will send it back to you both upstairs.
Well, no question, Ricky Titus and the boys have a lot of work to do after today. It's well, Bob, let me get your final thoughts on the performance today after an 8-4 loss, first of all.
Well, I think in the end, indoor soccer is a game that rewards teams that play as a team. And that means, playing shift that is short and passionate, having the right combinations, some strong dialogue on behalf of the players that help each other and create a mental attitude with regards to the outcome of the game. These are things, in my opinion, that the team is lacking, and it's something that grows within the fabric of every player, and that is something that needs to be worked on. No matter if you're practicing, no matter if you go to dinner, no matter if you're on the bus. It's team building, and it sounds cliche-ish, but it works, and you can see it on the field.
Professional sports is just such an interesting thing, though, isn't it? You see a game like last week where they take on a top team like Baltimore and give it everything they've got and come so close, and really I think should have won that game. I think it was their best game they played so far from start to finish. Unfortunately, come up just short, and then the very next week, play a team like Harrisburg they've beaten 2 out of 3 times this season. As we mentioned, a dangerous team, but let's be honest, got smoked today 8-4. Just interesting first year where they're learning and they're growing. With each game there will be setbacks like today. Sometimes it feels like you take 2 steps forwards and 1 step back, but this MetroStars team continues to learn. And just for the next game for the MetroStars, Sunday, March 17th, they'll be in Utica, and then the following Friday they will host Utica here at the Paramount Fine Food Center for the last MetroStars home game of the season.
Let's get everybody out here for the final game. And it's been a great season. It's a good learning experience for the sport fans of Toronto, Mississauga specifically. And I think this is a great opportunity for our final game to get all the soccer fans coming out here and having a good afternoon.
So we'll see if we can pack the joint on Friday, March 22nd. But to wrap things up here today from the Paramount Fine Food Center in Mississauga, your final score, Harrisburg 8, Mississauga 4. For my partner, Bobby Arushi, I'm Alex Bastiavansky. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time.